The death toll has risen again in Syria, where a migrant boat from Lebanon capsized late on Thursday. 150 Lebanese, Syrian, and Palestinian people are believed to have been on board. Such incidents have become increasingly common in Lebanon. In April, a boat sank off the coast of Tripoli, killing 7 people. 24 others are still missing. For many, the choice to flee is a result of the severe economic crisis, which has forced more than 80% of families into poverty. For refugees, that number is even higher.
Seven people were killed and 41 others wounded after a bomb explosion ripped through a mosque in the Afghan capital of Kabul on Friday. Kabul police spokesman Khalid Zadran confirmed on his Twitter account that the deadly bomb was placed on a vehicle and exploded in front of the main entrance of the Wazir Muhammad Akbar Khan Mosque in Kabul's Police District 6. The bomb targeted the worshippers who were leaving the religious place after Friday prayers. No group or individual has claimed responsibility for the blast.
Police in Iceland say they've arrested 4 people in connection with preparations for a suspected terrorist attack. It's thought to be the first time that terror arrests have ever been made in Iceland. 4 people in their 20s were arrested in the capital of Reykjavik and the southwestern town of Mosfellsbær.
In an unprecedented operation, 4 men have been arrested after an investigation into an alleged terrorist plot. Up to 50 police officers took part in this huge operation. It saw semi-automatic weapons as well as thousands of rounds of ammunition seized. It's said to be the first time an investigation of this type has been launched in Iceland, which has a population of just 375,000.
The American aircraft carrier the USS Ronald Reagan and its strike group have arrived in South Korea. There are 3 ships in total, including the guided missile cruiser the USS Chancellorsville and the guided missile destroyer the USS Barry. The deck of this enormous supercarrier, the USS Ronald Reagan, can carry 80 aircraft including F-18 Super Hornets and F-35 fighters. The aircraft carrier is here in Busan to take part in combined naval exercise with South Korean forces. This is the first time in almost 5 years that a U.S. aircraft carrier is in the country for a combined exercise since late 2017, when North Korea carried out its 6th and most powerful nuclear test.
A lot's changed in the 12 months since AUKUS was announced. Australia has a new government, the UK a new Prime Minister, but the commitment to the landmark security deal remains. The 3 countries insist they've made significant progress towards Australia acquiring conventionally armed, nuclear-powered submarines. It could be 20 years before the first locally made submarine hits the water. But as a stopgap, the Biden administration's reportedly considering building the first few boats in the US, giving Australia a nuclear-powered fleet by mid-2030.
China is building its military strength and expanding into the Pacific Island chain to our north, and we need these nuclear submarines quickly.
But it would cost billions to scale up American manufacturing, with Australia expected to contribute.
This is the reality of South Africans right now. Most wake up and go to bed with no electricity. Electricity provider Eskom has implemented load shedding in stages, which means higher the load shedding stage, the more frequent customers will experience power outages. It is stage 5 of load shedding, which means a 5,000 megawatt will be shed from the national grid. This also means South Africans will experience 8 hours of power cut in intervals every day.
The protesters waved Malian flags and chanted anti-UN slogans. Others carried Russian flags as they marched through the streets of the capital. Mali's army government has had a frosty relationship with the UN mission, culminating in July in the detention of Ivorian soldiers after branding them mercenaries. In July, Bamako suspended rotations for peacekeeping forces before reversing the decision a month later. The mission, also known as MINUSMA, has been in the West African country since 2013.